Most business texting platforms rely on Twilio to send messages, and if you've ever sent a text from Twilio, you've probably noticed one thing. They almost always land as green bubbles. That's because Twilio uses SMS to deliver messages, and SMS by default shows up green on all phones. But what if you could flip that green bubble to blue? What if your Twilio number could send blue iMessages to your iPhone contacts and green SMSs to your Android contacts, all while keeping your current setup exactly the way it is? In this video, we're going to explore an iMessage integration that could work alongside your Twilio setup or even replace it entirely. It lets you change the color of your text in all one-to-one communications, in all of the workflows, and all of the automations that you've already built out for your business. Even better, it doesn't require you to re-register for A2P, and you'll be able to text your leads back and forth without ever paying per text sent. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tristan, and all I do on this YouTube channel is help businesses send better text. I've helped my customers send over 37 million text messages, and we've noticed that businesses that use iMessage, on average, get 2 times more replies than the ones that use SMS. Let's get right into this video for you to see how you could start using blue iMessages in your business too. Twilio is one of the best platforms out there for sending text messages, especially when it's at scale. But it's not the best option for every single use case. We love Twilio for things like promotion announcements, anything that needs to reach a large group of people all at once. Where Twilio starts to fall short though is in the personal outreach. Let's say you're reaching out to a lead that just opted into your funnel, or you're trying to confirm an appointment with a lead, or you're trying to re-engage someone who abandoned their cart, or maybe you're just trying to ask a lead if they had any questions after a webinar. These are all moments that depend on trust on your tone and on your timing of things. And this is where the limitation of SMS and Twilio becomes a real big problem. Twilio can't guarantee the deliverability of your text, as they need to go through multiple networks and providers before reaching your customers. Sometimes your text could be flagged as spam, especially if you're using language that sounds automated. Twilio charges you by segment, meaning that every 160 characters increases your Twilio bill. And you're also required to include that opt-out language, like the reply stop to unsubscribe or reply stop to opt out, which immediately makes the messages feel like a marketing blast. And when those messages land on an iPhone, they show up as a green bubble, which, like it or not, it feels spammy. So even if your message is well written and genuinely intended to start a conversation, it'll probably get ignored just because it looks like another text blast. And that's where iMessage changes everything. There's this platform called SendBlue that has finally bridged the gap between iMessage texting with Twilio. SendBlue integrates directly with Twilio, and when you connect it, it automatically checks if your contact has an iPhone. If they do, the message is going to be sent as a blue iMessage. But if they don't, it's going to fall back to your Twilio SMS number and send a green text, just like normal. In other words, it acts as the smart router, deciding when a message should be delivered as an iMessage and when it should stay as a regular standard SMS. And it gets even better. iMessage gives you capabilities that go way beyond the green Twilio world. There's no character limits on your text, and you don't get charged for longer texts. Fun fact, the longest iMessage you could send is actually 18,996 characters. There's no A2P registration, which also means there's no need for that opt-out language on your iMessage texts. There's also no limits on how many texts you could send back and forth with a contact, meaning that inbound and outbound texting is free with iMessage. And you get so much more than just text messages. You get access to high-res videos, native voice messages, and even message effects. The cool thing is that if most of your audience happens to be on iPhones, which is true for most businesses operating in North America, you'll finally be able to reach them on the same channel that they use every single day. The US people love their iPhones. Let me just be clear again though, iMessage is not a replacement for Twilio in every single scenario. You still want to use Twilio for large-scale SMS campaigns like mass updates or promotional blasts. But when your goal is to start or continue a real conversation with your audience, iMessage gives you a much better channel to do that. And if you want people to actually respond to your texts, there's no doubt that you should be using iMessage. Just take a look at the difference between the reply rates you could expect with SMS, around 30%, and the 80% reply rate you could expect with iMessage. If you've already built workflows or automations around Twilio in GoHighLevel or Salesforce or Zapier or Make.com, you don't need to throw them away. You just need to have a tool like SendBlue that could detect which one of your contacts has an iPhone and which one has an Android phone and send the right colored message to the right device. I'm actually going to challenge you right now. Pause this video and send a text to 5 of your prospects from your personal iPhone. If those messages come up as blue blue, that's your sign. That's someone you could start texting now better. The link to this iMessage Twilio tool is right down in the comment section or description section of this video. So check it out, and you could actually get texted a demo straight to your phone if you add your phone number. Thank you so much to everyone that has stayed here until the end, and I'll see you on the blue side.